was returned to library shelves.
Our Grayson Thatcher joins us live in studio. Grayson, you were at the meeting. What's this new process going to look like?
Well, Harry, the district says that this would create a strict step-by-step review process for any book that's flagged under that Age-Appropriate Materials Act. Now, anyone who believes a book is inappropriate would have to fill a form out, identify the content in question that's specifically in the book, and sign their name attaching it to that form. Now, that form goes to the district level committee that they would then create. It'd be made up of educators, parents, guardians from all 3 grade bands, so elementary, middle, and high school, as well as a board member. Now, the committee would meet bi-monthly as needed.
It makes no sense to just keep appealing the same word over and over again. So this process is being put into place so that it can be heard, if necessary, at each level within case yes, including the board.
Now, if the committee finds no issue, the book would then stay on the shelf. But if they find a potentially inappropriate content in that book, the title goes onto a pending removal list that's then shared with the school board. Board members could then request a book to be added to the agenda for further review, or if there are no concerns, then the book would just be removed. Now, the district says they have over 120 books that are up for review right now.
All right, Grayson, thanks.